curious to see now, like how things get when we get to the regular season, because we've both put a bow on this 4-man quarterback competition, and it's going to be Joe Flacco, as it should. But how do they figure out the rest of those guys? Like do they carry all 4? If they do carry all 4, how long can you do that? How long can you do that, especially when Deshaun Watson's physically cleared? Like, this QB thing, even when they do name Joe Flacco the starting QB, it is far from over. Like, this is going to be something that follows them throughout the entirety of this season. Just feels bizarre to say.
Am I reading this right? This guy's in Maine? Am I reading that correctly?
I didn't screen him.
All right. Well, let's find out. Don, are you really in Maine?
Yeah, I'm in Maine.
You're in Maine? God bless you. How is life up in Maine?
Oh, it's fantastic. Except if you're a new Browns fan like I am,
no.
Maybe April 26th, I'd say. I've been following Shedeur a long time, probably since he was a reality TV kid, right? But listen, I don't understand. What we saw was passable, right? It's passable from Dylan.
Yeah.
And then he throws his teammate under the bus and hides behind the comment by calling you all entertainers.
No, I listening to it, and I got to defend him here. The question he was asked from Aditi and his response, I believe him when he said that he was firing a stray at us and people like me who have been critical of him, and he wasn't talking about Shedeur. I do believe him. I do. Yes.
All right. So my case in point here is when you speak about fringe players, which are very important at this stage, how do you eliminate one of these quarterbacks? I don't think you can keep all 4 with guys like Larvidan out there on the fringe showing up time and again in critical situations.
Well, Larvidan is going to end up on the practice squad. That's how that's going to work.
And they did keep 4 last year. So that's there's
for like 24 hours.
Yeah, but there's precedent. There was precedent to keep all 4.
They're going to need 4 to get through this season. They might need 5.
An inactive 4th with Deshaun, right?
No, he's the 5th. He's the 5th. You may need 5. That's why I said you may need 5 to get through the season. Listen, I've watched a lot of Browns football. Nothing would surprise me.
I'm learning this.
Welcome aboard, Don. Appreciate the call.
Yeah,
Appreciate you, bud.
Thank you, guys.
You take care up there in Maine. We got a call from Maine. We've
listening on the free Odyssey app.
We've gotten calls from California. We get regular calls from Chicago. We've gotten a few from Texas. That's the first one. You know what we should do? We should do like
all 50 states.
Yeah, well, yeah. So I watch a lot of This Old House, Ask This Old House, because I'm into the whole home improvement thing. And they, for Ask This Old House, where they take the road trips or whatever, they've done all 50 states. I think we should start a board. How many different, can we get calls from all 50 states?
Well, it's a good thing we're starting it now. We should have started it months ago.
Well, the idea just popped into my head. That's kind of the problem. I'm a little slow at times with the idea machine there.
A lot of Florida. We get a lot of Chicago.
We do, yeah. But yeah, I think we should have we got to come up with a map, and we can check Maine. We got a call from Maine. How cool is that?
Is there any other state you would have been this excited over?
I didn't. Well,
Rhode Island, smallest one.
No, if we get a call from Hawaii, which, by the way,
we have to have a real dialogue here, real quick. Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, Boston, Rhode Island, just one big state.
It's currently 6:30 a.m. in Hawaii right now. Also,
yeah, early morning radio.
Yeah, we're waking people up on the islands.
Their favorite sunlook. Aloha
means hello.
Oh, thanks. Hey, they got a new stadium. No one's fighting it.
Well, no one's fighting it. They're trying to get a new stadium. They have a temporary one now, but they just
announced it.
Oh, that they're going to actually build the new stadium instead of play on
like
aluminum
the
bleachers.
Days of college football, where I feel like they announce a new stadium every year.
Well, no, because the stadium that they played in was so bad that the NFL had to say no to the Pro Bowl for them.
Right.
That's disappointing, by the way, because that was like a cool venue.
Well, the thing of it is it was disappointing for the players because that was their free vacation. That's why that was like the only reason the players wanted to participate in the Pro Bowl was so they got the free vacation to Hawaii. Do we have an updated win total for the Browns now?
Still 5.5.
Still at 5.5. Going strong. Okay.
And I think that's right about the number,
Dude,
right? Like when you look at prediction time, like it's going to be 5 or 6.
That's hard.
It's going to be 5 or 6
because I was really optimistic before training camp. I'm like, yeah, I'm taking the over. They're going to win 6. Maybe they win 7 or something bounces their way. Then training camp started, and I'm watching more. I'm like, ooh, maybe I need to take the under on that.
I think to me,
I think they're between 5 and 6 wins right now.
To me, it depends on how long you could get. Can Joe Flacco survive the first 6 or 7 weeks of the season? Because if the answer to that is yes, like I think Joe Flacco is capable of giving you a couple of those really big moments like what he gave you in 2023. But then I do worry that if Flacco's gone in week 4 or 5, then you're going to be playing the game trying to identify, well, where are the rest of the wins on this schedule? And I hated doing that during the 1-31 days. I certainly don't want to do that now. So I think when you're looking at win total and you're looking at how far can this team go this year, I do think you are seriously looking at how much can Joe Flacco play? How long of the leash does Joe Flacco have is what I think about when I think about that win total. But I don't know. This seems like one of those seasons where truly anything can happen. Like, would you be surprised if they rattled off 8 wins, 9 wins, and it was just it?
Yes, I would. I'd be shocked.
But what if it was just like the Joe Flacco show?
The reason I'd be shocked
like
is
9 wins, and it was Flacco all the way. He was able to drink from the fountain of youth. He turned around the clock, and you never even get to see the rookies. And it's just Joe Flacco the entire way. Preseason finale is a week from yesterday, so it's August 23rd. You've got then a whole extra. It's like a bye week in a number of ways. You've got 2 weeks. You got 14 days from the last time the preseason horn goes off till week 1. And I have to imagine that they're going to use that as time to continue to just get ready for that Bengals game, but also to just evaluate, because that's what this season's about. And when you've got this many quarterbacks, like I have to imagine it is full on evaluation mode.
Right.
And that's going to stay consistent through the 14 days leading up to September 7th.
Yeah. So, again, Kevin Stefanski telling folks there on Zoom, and we're trying to get that dialed in for you here so you can listen to it. If not, we will just go ahead and play that back for you in its entirety as he looks to kind of get things going this week as they treat this like a regular season week to get guys in that workflow, that mindset. Obviously, he's not going to play the starters for 4 quarters. They'll probably play a couple of series, I'm anticipating. And then they, you turn around and because he said yesterday, Saturday in Philadelphia, his hope was he'd be able to use all 4 of these quarterbacks in there in this game if they're healthy.
So what would you do there? You would go Flacco, Pickett, Shador, or Gabriel kind of in your depth chart, or would you do it some other way?
Well, I would go, I give each guy a quarter. Flacco first quarter, Pickett second quarter, Gabriel third quarter, Shador fourth quarter. That to
Simple.
me, when you're dealing with 4 guys, that's like the easiest way to do it.
Or Snoop Huntley.
Well, yeah. Look, he's not going to make the team, and he was brought in to get them through the preseason. Like, let's be honest about that. Like, that's the reality. That's it. Now, unless something happens to one of the 4 quarterbacks to where now they need to, keep it, then yeah. But right now, when you're talking about what they went into camp with, like, I think the plan was all along to bring all of those guys to the active 53 or and go with them right out of the gate.
It is tough to figure it out too, because like, is Pickett's hammy going to be good in good enough shape to play in a dress rehearsal game? Like, I wonder if that, like, health wise, we just don't know. If it is, then okay, maybe things get interesting again. And it brings us back to the conversations that we've had throughout the show about, like, maybe he's not that expendable. Or on the inverse, maybe you put Kenny Pickett out there and try to show what he can do to get a team like the Rams, who seemingly need a quarterback, whether it's Jimmy G or if Stafford could, kind of get a condensed preseason plus training camp underneath them.
Remember, the last time the Browns traded a quarterback because they felt they had an excess, they needed 5. And that's what ultimately led them to Joe Flacco and dusting him off the retirement couch there, the forced retirement couch.
So you could say that it all worked out in the end, though.
Well, I understand it all worked out, but my point is...
they should have just...
We talked about it earlier in the show where I'm like, these guys aren't nearly as expendable as you want to think that they are. Like, let's be very clear about that. Like, I don't believe that they are that, expendable. I think that you're getting a little carried away. And if you have that mindset, you could potentially, run into some problems there.
I mean, I remember, Daryl, when they traded Josh Dobbs to the Cardinals for a 4th-round pick in 2023, everybody was doing the laser eyes Andrew Berry. I mean, people thought that that's a steal. That's a guy that you picked up off the street and you just flipped him for a 4th-round pick. Like, genius, super genius. But then later in that season, you're getting ready to play Josh Dobbs, who was one of the hottest quarterbacks in the league at the time, and you didn't have your own QB situation settled or figured out. It should make everybody around Cleveland kind of press the brakes just a little bit. I know everybody wants to get rid of Kenny Pickett and just write him off for dead because we haven't had the opportunity to see him yet. But hold the phone now, because there might be a time, and we don't want to get to that point. Obviously, the dream scenario is that Joe Flacco is healthy enough to just continue to go as long as he can possibly go. That'd be a whole lot of fun, but we got to be real about how these things have unfolded in the Stefanski area, and there could be a real shot that one of these other guys has to play.
Yeah, and again, I mean, this is just the way this thing goes, where you're going to have to, you may have to have all these guys. I mean, I think there's something to be said that they might even have to play Deshaun Watson at some point this season, not because they want to, but because that's the way she goes, and circumstances sometimes dictate that. Like, I don't know. Like, I can't be completely dismissive of that thought or that notion because of what I've seen happen to this franchise over the years, and especially in recent years where Kevin has had to, as he likes to say, pivot midstream, mid-season, just because, whatever plan they had, circumstances outside their control has completely just blown up.
Well, think about this. Think about this, right? You and I are both of the belief that they're going to keep all 4 on the initial 53-man roster. At some point, whether it's October, whether it's early November, he's going to get cleared. He's going to get cleared. And the NFLPA, when you're cleared, you got 2 options. You either activate them or you cut them. I don't think they're cutting them because of the cap space. So they're going to have to activate them. And then you're going to have 5 on your active. Like, at some point, things are going to get interesting with this whole thing. It's not that we want to see Deshaun. It's not that they want to see Deshaun. It's none of that.
They're just procedures that they have to follow. Right now, people roll their eyes that he's in the
like even in the facility and in the training room and stuff. He has the right to be there.
Yeah, they've got access
by
to
the team.
All that stuff. Yeah. So unless they IR him, now I think that's probably won't. I think that when it comes to that particular situation, they're stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Because couldn't he spaz out if they IR him? Couldn't he spaz out and be like, "Hey, no, I'm good to go," and then the NFLPA gets involved, and here you are trying to keep a guy on the shelf that's medically cleared. Like, when rubber hits to the road and he can pass a physical, and that Achilles is at least held up enough where he could stand and compete if push were to come to shove. They are going to have to activate.
Yeah. And again, that's a cross a bridge when we get to it type of a situation, right? That's just where you're at. But right now, they've got the 4 guys that they've got, and I think it's pretty much settled internally, even if they aren't announcing or won't announce yet what that ultimately looks like. You know, they are, they're going to have to go with it. They're just going to have to announce it. They're just going to have to go with it. And, we'll wait and see what it is, even though I know the answer. I think you know the answer of what it ultimately is going to be. And that's Joe Flacco's 1, Kenny Pickett's 2, Dylan Gabriel's 3, Shedeur is 4. And that's just going to be the way it is. And that is probably going to be the order with which they roll the quarterbacks out this season, assuming they can go, in whatever.
Right. Yeah. And that makes sense. I don't want to say that doesn't make sense because Kenny Pickett is a vet. And he is the reclamation project.
Yeah. And I guess on the Zoom call, Stefanski did say he plans to name the starter this week. So drum roll, please. Joe Flacco. That's what it's going to be. That's what he's going to say.
You said Tuesday. Then Dan Lobby joined us on the fan hotline and said Tuesday. Is Tuesday the day for you guys that bought the number 15 Joe Flacco jerseys for Christmas in that magic carpet ride that was 2023?